All right,
Welcome once
everyone.
again.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for attending our Thursday night training. We appreciate every one of you. We're honored and humbled to have you. And we have a special guest on the line, as Coach Johnson was saying a minute ago, that we have none other than Sean Baccuccini, who is the co-founder at Project Blue. And I'm telling you, they do a phenomenal job, ladies and gentlemen. And we are so excited and blessed to be partnered with them. And so tonight I have Sean with us. I was privileged to be on one of his calls. I always plug in with him as he does training with his team and different people that he's bringing up. And he was mentioning the art of approaching chambers, chambers of commerce and different things like that, and how he's having, and some of his teammates are having some real good success in that area. And I was super impressed with it. And I said, wow, I know that our team would really appreciate learning how we can approach the chambers. And then also today on a call, he was mentioning the importance of keeping things super simple and just staying out of the weeds of a lot of the details. Because as we know, sometimes the devil, quote unquote, is in the details. So with that being said, we have Sean here. He's in transit, but we was able to get him to just chime in with us and speak to us briefly tonight. So without any further ado, and not to take up much of his time, Sean, it would be great to have you come on and just kind of enlighten us on what's going on with the group and how some of those folks are having so much success approaching chamber members.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brian and Derek, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. You know, that we all share the same ethics and values when it comes to serving others. I learned a long time ago, the more we serve others, the more successful we become. It just so happens that a byproduct of success is the money that we can make, right? So we've got such cool systems here. You know, the entire business model is designed to introduce business owners to tax incentives and find them money that they didn't realize they were entitled to, and to help serve their employees as well with our, primary product. But, that's just the tip of the spear. It's only the beginning, because once we form relationships with these folks, they will listen to us when we ask other questions about finding them more and make suggestions about how they grow it even further. So, I love what you guys do. We're really grateful. Thank you so much. I always like to say to everybody on my training calls, we cannot do what we do without you. This is a relationship game that we play. And a lot of the values that I've acquired over the years have come from a lot of networking, a lot of coffees, a lot of tacos, and not a lot of dollars always came from those meetings. But, networking is a real thing that can be valuable. And, digital marketing and the way that it is today, some people can generate dozens, potentially hundreds of leads per day. We've got some people on the team doing that. Other people prefer relationships, one conversation at a time, one business at a time. So our systems are designed to help you do what you do best. What is your preferred method for marketing? Is it networking? Is it running ads, cold calls, emails? What is it? You name it. I've done it. We've got a formula for it. But it seems lately that there have been a lot of people doing networking and doing BNI. And so when they started asking me what's the best way to go through it, I said, well, I actually have a really good formula for this for a couple of reasons. When you join a BNI, for example, a paid networking group, their expectation of you is to pay your dues and come to breakfast or lunch once a week and share leads, right? Each member is required to share leads. So the cool thing about BNI is that you're in a group with the people who pay to be there, so they truly value what the group being, and they bring you leads. It's a requirement. In order to participate in the group, you got to share leads. So BNI can be tremendously valuable. Now, chambers of commerce can be even more valuable, but most people don't really know how to build a strategic partnership with the Chamber of Commerce and accomplish so much more than just glad handing and exchanging business cards at a networking event. My least favorite thing to do. But there was a time when it was a necessary evil, so I always set commitments for myself. I'm going to go get 5 business cards with 5 contacts I really want to do business with, and then I'm out. I would tell myself, just like going to the gym, I tell myself, I'm just going to go, right? I'm just going to go, just get in there. I'll just walk on the treadmill. But by the time I'm there, I'm ready to go. However, if a networking group is the most that we can expect to gain from the chamber, that's really not much at all. Now, the cool thing about networking groups is they need us more than we need them. And what I mean by that is chambers of commerce charge the businesses who are their members dues. And for those dues, their members expect them to do something. Networking events and brand exposure and different types of things are included in that. But most importantly, they expect the chamber to lobby for them when it comes to tax incentives. They expect the chamber to have representation at the city and state level when it comes to making an impact for businesses. But they especially expect the chambers of commerce to introduce them to information and resources for business development. So when I say they need us more than we need them, not only will we educate their members on tax incentives and how they can save money and roll the preventative health initiative into their business, but we can also make a donation to them, right? Accounts to come through preventative health initiative, there should be enough, if you want to be generous with your commission, to make a donation to the chamber per employee per month, which is what I do. So anytime I bring a chamber of commerce in, I'm going to make them an offer. We will become your financial literacy, cost reduction, tax incentive experts so we can educate your members. And if you help us through strategic marketing and a higher level partnership than just going to some networking group, right? If you help us enroll chamber members so you get to look like the hero, we will pay you for that. So the chamber is a nonprofit, right? They're always looking for lunch and learn sessions, education forums, topics for these types of things. We just hosted one today, right? They want us there. They want us to teach their members how to save money. And they are not going to be opposed to generating additional revenue because they are nonprofit. Brian, you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions about that. I was wondering if anybody else has a question in direct relationship to what Sean just said. Anybody have any questions? That we have a pretty good packed house tonight. Good to attendance. So far it's over 30 and growing. So anybody have any questions that they would like to bring up along that line?
If you do, please put it in the chat or raise your hand.
Hey, Brian, is my signal doing okay?
Yeah, your signal is great. Yeah, your signal is fine.
Okay. All right. It might cut out a little bit. I'm driving.
No, I know you had to take care of something important, but I don't see any questions. Any questions?
We have one question coming up here.
Hey, good evening. This is Ron Kutchenberg. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, good evening,
Big
Ron.
Ron.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Doing good. Just wanted to run something by you. You talked about the nonprofit and you talked about the partnership. Do you have a partnership agreement with the chamber?
So
Ron, I apologize. Your signal cut out there just for a second. Can you repeat the question?
Oh, yeah, no worries. Yeah, I was just wondering, did you establish a partnership agreement in writing with the chamber?
Yeah, of course we would. Each chamber functions a little bit differently. So we want to get into the nitty gritty of the most effective strategy to form a partnership with the chamber, because it's probably not what y'all think. They get tired of hearing these kind of ideas, all these crazy entrepreneurs talking about how much they're going to do for the chamber, right? Yep. So there's kind of a secret formula that I've come up though that will really benefit us. And again, I was an ambassador at the chamber, I think 20 years ago, and just created a bunch of crazy, unique systems and ways to engage the members because, like I said, just the basics wasn't doing it. So yes, Ron, we would obviously want to create a custom agreement with the chamber. The chamber is probably going to want you to pay your membership dues if you're not already a member, right? So the simple answer to your question is yes. We'll field any other questions now, and then we'll talk about the formula to win over a chamber. Sound fair?
Sounds fair, thanks.
All right, so someone, oh, okay, they said they got it. They had another question. All right, so let's see here. We have another one here. All right, sir, Mr. Jimmy West, I think you're unmuted.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing today?
Hey, Jimmy, we're great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm a chamber member. I've been a chamber member for quite a few years now, and I never heard what his name
Sean.
Sean. Listen, that. Well, I talked about. So, but my question would be, what would be I guess, a fair amount of money to give them?
Yeah, I think it's a WTA conversation, right? Because essentially you guys would have to decide what makes the most sense for you. But you got to think, if we pay them, $1 for every life enrolled, you know what I mean? They could generate hundreds, potentially thousands of dollars, per year, sometimes per month with the system. Big active chambers tend to have big active businesses with a lot of employees. And again, they pay attention when the chamber talks about this kind of thing. So ultimately, each of you will have to decide, what you think is fair as an incentive.
Absolutely. A good question, Jimmy, and great answer, Sean, because I don't know how many people on the line ever saw the TV show, the movie Devil's Advocate. And remember, he said, are we negotiating? He said, always. We're always negotiating. All right, Jimmy. So we're going to negotiate to get something that's fair and equitable for that chamber so that they'll want to take a bite of the apple. You know what I mean? So but we don't want to make sure you're taken care of too. But we definitely want them to be taken care of. So we'll work that out as we come up with the strategies to approach the chamber.
Yeah.
A great question.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Is when we've got the ability, right, to give, they're really going to respect and appreciate that. But if we leverage the relationship and pay attention to the relationship in the right way, it could be the best lead source that you have, right? And so whatever we pay them per employee who enrolls as a donation to the chamber, as a thank you for doing business, we can't pay them a commission, right? But we can make a donation, and that donation can substantially impact that organization. So their motivator, right, to help you get into some of these businesses or bring these businesses to you, like that's what we did today. The Carlsbad Chamber had a room full of businesses with 20 plus employees. I attended on Zoom. The local affiliate was there, knee to knee. She gave the presentation, and that chamber was large enough. We actually enrolled all of their employees first. So the employees are PHI plan participants. They endorsed it to all of their members and brought the members in. We had a room full of people with 20 plus employees learning about preventative health initiative, and we set a bunch of appointments right there in real time. So, they are going to be able to help us. We got to work the relationship properly. We got to manage the relationship properly. There's definitely work to be done. But if we just centralize that work and do it in one place, so many more opportunities can come. So whatever donation we make them, right, it's worth it because it's going to fuel the relationship and encourage them to bring more people.
Hey, great.
They don't have
deal.
They don't have any other members making donations to them for helping them to get clients.
That's a good point.
And again, we can't overlook the value of the education, right? It is their job to find these types of resources for businesses. How many people here have spoken to a client that is already on this incentive or already knew about it? Probably not many, right? And so they get to be the hero to their business. And of course, the Wealth Transfer Alliance has some great resources. We've got more than one tax incentive. So average findings for a business that works with us is over $200,000. They will remember that it was the Chamber of Commerce that introduced them.
That's super. Love that. The whole idea of standing out and standing out by giving, which is awesome. We have a question that popped up here asking, do we have any idea the number or how many chambers are currently connected to the program?
There's a lot, but here's an exercise that I want to do real quick right now. Everybody that's on your computer, open up Google real quick. I love interactive training. I want to just run a little exercise. Let's do a little test real quick, right?
Maybe I'll open up one. I'll open up one and share with everyone.
Yeah, share screen. Derek, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And type in the search term, Chambers of Commerce near me. Wow, we got to see your emails and your bank statements and everything. It's been a great training.
I got so many windows open. It's incredible. All right, what am I putting in? Chambers of Commerce.
Chambers of Commerce near me. And just hit enter, right? Came up with a few of those. Just pick one that you like, click on it, open up the website.
I just pick any of them.
And pick any one you want.
All right, and I'll go right to their website.
Go right to their website. Now, Derek, is there a membership directory on that website anywhere?
Membership directory is right here.
Oh, look at that. What do you know? Click on that button. What do we see there? Oh, man, that looks like a pretty good leads list to me. I don't even have to pay to get a chamber membership to call that leads list. But if you take a look, so you're welcome. That's my free gift to everybody tonight. Search Chambers of Commerce near me. You have countless businesses and their contact information and what they do. And most of the time, their employee count right there at your fingertips. But as you can see, there's many businesses. Every one of those businesses pays that chamber membership dues. Now, if you go back out into Google again, how many chambers of commerce were there near you? Just this page.
All these. Yep.
That's a lot. That's 10. Google says 10 leads on a page, 10 businesses can fit on the first page. So how many pages of them are there, right? So this is an unlimited lead source for you, right? And chambers are all really well connected. So if you get into a chamber, right, chances are we can get into another chamber and another chamber after that, because the local chamber is connected to the regional chamber, is connected to the national chamber, is connected, right? This is a gold vein. A chamber is a gold vein that could lead to a gold mine as long as you develop the relationship properly. And there are far more chambers in the country than I could ever get to myself. So how many are connected? I don't know. It don't matter. Go after them. Wherever you live right now, I can tell you there's a chamber that's not working with us.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. All right. Great question. Super answer. I'm gonna go with some of the people that are standing in line with their hands up here. Let's go with Tressie here.
Thank you. Sean, if I'm tracking correctly, you're doing the agreement before you start connecting the companies with your company, correct?
I got to tell you, I activated 3 chambers last week. We didn't sign agreements with any of them. They don't. That's kind of a non-starter in my opinion. It's no big deal. Now, we got to talk about the strategy, right?
Right.
Because if you just walk in the door and say, "Hey, we can do some things for you, but we want you to," to your clients, they're going to say no thanks. We only work with members, right? The only way we get to know members is if they pay their dues and come to events and blah, 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 woo, woo. Understand, they got people asking them for free things and memberships and trades and strategic partnerships all the time. So we can't just roll in the door like, hey, we got some sliced bread, you want it, right? What we have to do is form a relationship with them. So if you are already a member of your local chamber, you already took the first step. The next step is to say, hey, we want to talk with the executive director or somebody in leadership that coordinates events. We want to talk to somebody up the ladder in decision making about a strategic partnership, because we want to work closely with you to get these incentives in the hands of these businesses, and we're going to pay you for it. So who do I need to get on the call with Brian, with Sean, with, right? Who do we need to get on a call with them so we can talk about, we're a national organization and we want to partner with chambers to educate their members on tax incentives and pay them for it, right? So most of the time, you can't just roll in the door and ask them to do that for us. We have to build a relationship. They're going to want you to become a member, go through the process. So if you're calling on a chamber that you're not currently a member of, this is perfect. Pick up the phone, call the chamber, drop by the chamber, walk in. Everybody's job at the chamber is sign up members, no matter what your role. If you're the janitor, if you're the secretary, or the executive director, you got a stack of contracts, you got a stack of membership service agreements on your desk. Your job is to sign up members, right? Mm-hmm. So whoever you talk to is going to want to do that. And you let them know, listen, we do want to become members. We do want to get to know you. We're a national organization. I'm the local representation. We have a partnership program. So if we're going to become members, we want more than just the basic membership will give us. So can we get on a call with the membership coordinator and your executive director and my executive director so we can all talk about more we can do than just a basic relationship? Most of them are going to tell you, no, just sign the membership. Right?
Right.
But again, if we can get to the right person, explain the opportunity to them, and let them know, we will become members. You will attend events. We will be there to host the events. We will be the driving force behind the marketing campaign. But we're going to want them to use their e-biz and their social media and everything to fill up the room with businesses with 20 or more employees, right? So I've told people about chambers before, and they basically just go cold call and say, hey, this is what we want. Chamber's like, no, we don't do that. Buy a membership, become a member, right? So if you get them interested and you can get us on a call with the executive director or somebody at the C level, then we've got a chance at forming a partnership. Like I said, we did it 3 times last week. I got a series of events all the rest of the year because they typically plan out those lunch and learns far in advance. The good news is right now, these are the slow months. These are the dark months. Now's the perfect time to get in there, right, before everything gets real busy again for fourth quarter, and see if we can get on the books once a month for a lunch and learn.
Gotcha.
Guys, I'm going to have to cut out shortly. So if there are any outstanding questions,
we got one more here that's listed up here. Mr. Jarvis Bailey.
Hey guys, real quick, I'm ready to talk about getting on your schedule and getting it done. So really, this might be a conversation with W.T.A. because when I joined the chamber, talking about how we want to list and how we want to join, just 2 hours ago, I talked to the president of the Fredericksburg Chamber of Commerce. She's a good friend of mine. She actually serves on my faculty. I wrote the curriculum for one of our nonprofits mentoring program, and she's a faculty member. And her father and I.
Bailey.
Yes.
Mr. Bailey coming through with the win.
Oh,
yeah. So I had already peeped out the Chamber of Commerce, and I belong to a couple of networking groups. I belong to 212 and a couple other local networking groups. But the chamber is a beast move, so I'm ready to to talk strategy for real. I can get you on Brian, Derek on a call with the president in the next couple of days. I just need a time and a script to what to say to her when I join the chamber. So let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, you've got my schedule link. If Jarvis, if you want to have a sit-down jam session real quick before we schedule the call, or you can schedule the call. Well, the four of us will get together before the call. But you're right, that's the way to go. We just put a plan together. Who do we know? What do we know about them? What do they want to hear? And we sit down. And again, it's the last three we did were so easy that some people have, like, a lot of times they're used to people asking for free stuff, right? And so sometimes they just want to shut it down, and it's like, no, that's not the way we do it. But, you know, we can get through it. But these last three, man, they were like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Yeah, you're right. We get to be the hero. We need speakers anyway. We can get the right people in the room. You're going to pay us for it. Let's go.
Hey,
And
Sean,
it's to their benefit too, because I mean, I'm gonna work all the businesses as a member anyway, so they might as well partner with me because I'm gonna do it anyhow. So
That's right.
let's make it work.
That's right. Let's
hey,
make it
Sean,
work. Okay,
hey,
cool.
Sean, what's that 30-second script, man, that you giving to these executive directors or director of partnership? I know we really don't want to deal too much with the membership coordinators. They're a little bit harder, but like, what's that?
Well, I mean, the reality, Brian, is that most of the time we have to. Like,
Okay.
the membership coordinator is going to be the gatekeeper, which is okay. And again, here the pitch is simple. We want to be members. Tell me what the chamber has to offer members, and let them pitch you, and then say, all right, yeah, I think so. We're a national company. I'm the local representative. We love to form partnerships with chambers. My job is to come in and form relationships with chambers, become a member. But, you know, I want to get you on a call with the president of our company, because he's got a strategy in place that if you just help us get connected with businesses, we're going to make donations. We're going to generate revenue. So it's a really simple conversation.
Got it. All right. Well, that's great. So, Jarvis, we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do that, man. Let's go ahead and get Sean on the line with your contacts. They're already in your Rolodex, the old Rolodex, right? And you got relationships with these folks. So let's just go ahead and plug them in with Sean and let it do what it do. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the road tonight. But let's, if you guys aren't opposed to doing this again next week, we can get into some of the finer details we can cover. There's some other things we wanted to cover tonight as well.
Okay.
But so if we can do it again next week, we'll go through it a little bit more, and we'll have more to share.
Well, listen, I know something came up on your end. You was wanting to be on the Zoom with us, but you said you was going to have to drive somewhere, but you still want to be here with us. So we certainly appreciate your time. We want you to stay focused on the road, get to where you're trying to get to safely. I love what you said earlier about service, because we definitely believe in service. We believe when we serve others that the blessings have to come to you. It's like karma. What goes around comes around. So we chase service and sales chase us. We don't chase sales. So we appreciate you, Sean. Thanks for all your energy, your training, your support. Let's definitely get you back here next week. If possible, we can get you on your schedule so we can dive into some more details, and it'll give people time to really think about what you shared at this point. They can go to their local chamber websites, look around, and they'll have a lot more questions for you at that time. So we'll be ready for you.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks, team. I apologize. I got to go early. We'll see you again next week.
All right,
got
be safe on the road. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. I will. Thank you, sir. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our B2B right there. That's the kind of connect we have where we can get executives like that would be willing to spend time with us while on the road, and give us a good 20-25 minutes, kind of a snippet, a snapshot, or tips, secrets, and small talk about how to succeed in that to which we're all grabbing a hold of here and now. So hopefully you guys got something out of it, albeit it was just a snapshot there. And now what I'd like to be able to do, Mr. Brian Riley, is to transition, if that's okay with you.
Oh, absolutely, Coach. Take it away. And ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed so far what you've learned and this whole eye-opening experience to the chambers, somebody give me a thumbs up or a shout or something. Put something in the reactions. We want to know that y'all benefit. There we go. Hey, Derek, they're benefiting from this. So this is good. We don't want to waste anybody's time. We love to talk about how we got to get to that, to the folks that need our help. And trust me, most of them just don't know about it. And so our job is to get out there and I went through and I see a lot of people put the thumbs up, the hearts. Really appreciate that. So yeah, we just want to get that information in front of the decision makers. And what I found out by listening to Sean was it's that executive director and the director of partnership, even though he said that gatekeeper is more than likely going to be the membership coordinator. But next week or whenever we can get Sean back, he'll kind of carve out ways that they've been working around that and get into the people they need to get in front of. You get one of them locked in, you can get that whole chamber. So I can definitely see folks like Jarvis Bailey doing some great things since he's already plugged in. The same thing with you, Jimmy. You're already plugged in. So all of you guys who are plugged in, it's your time to win. And those of us who are not plugged into the chambers and BNIs, let's try to figure out ways where we can work that to our advantage. Say, Coach, how you looking?
Looking great, man, and ready to go here. Hey, on our last training that we had, we were going to do a dive into the comp plan, but we got really tied in really good with the corporate benefits again. And we had the pleasure, as you guys just experienced there, with Sean Boccaccini, there to founder of Project Blue, our benefits administrator there, to be able to go through some things with them and talking about tips, secrets, and small talk about how to get into the chamber. And we're going to have more details on that. But now let's go into how we keep scoring business is the way to get paid. All right, so let's talk a little bit about that in here. So let me make this change to my screen here. I am not sharing.
While he's doing that, all you guys, guests on our call last week, let's make sure we follow up with some 3-ways, or this week, I'm sorry, the call we just had Wednesday. Let's make sure we follow up the 3-way calls. And by all means, let's try to keep this thing super simple, especially when it comes to the corporate benefits. Sean had to go, but I mentioned earlier that in Cynthia, she was with us on the call today, and the importance of just keeping it super simple. You know, a lot of people want to get into the weeds and really dig down into all the explanations and all that information on and regurgitate all this information on people about the corporate benefits and how it works and all the tax breaks and this, what do they call all those different things? The whimper, the simper, the 105 tax credits, the cafeteria plan. We don't get into all that stuff. Like I explained to folks, listen, I stay in my lane. There's something called what do you call that? That everybody have on their job, a job description, right? So my job description is to get people interested in our products, to get that intake form done, and to set that appointment with Sean. And then Sean dives into the details. And I'm telling you, if you keep it super simple like that, you can make a great residual income here with our company. So Derek, I can see your screen. It look like you have the comp plan open.
I got it open here in the spreadsheet, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, they're going through all the stuff to put things in place. Things are working. You know, we looked in our dashboard, our virtual back office, and they're filtering through tens of thousands of scenarios to make sure that this comp plan is working properly in the engine that they've created, because they're creating that for us. And that's what their expertise is doing. And we're really excited about that. I know Mr. Riley and I both looked in the back office like, what the heck is going on back there?
Yeah, they put like, how many, what do they put like 20, 30, 80,000 something?
Yeah.
A whole lot of people in our genealogy. And they wanted to see how that would look with thousands of people in the genealogy.
And so many different changes and different scenarios is there, which was, you know, it was great to be able to see, but they're fast at work. And we do have a call tomorrow with the corporate executive there, one of the owners. There's a mover and shaker. So we are working hard for you because we want this thing to get down the runway, to get up into speed, so we can start to get a lift here, and then soon enough be get to altitude and cruising height. So with that being said, I'm sorry, go ahead, Brian.
No. Yeah, so they can see that genealogy and be able to follow the compensation plan. So that's what we're buttoning down now. And that's why Derek is going to go through these numbers. Just the more you see how the comp plan work, the easier it becomes. So hey, Derek, I appreciate you showing this again.
Hey, no problem at all. So, and I know we have some folks who haven't had the opportunity to be able to see it as of yet, and that's great. So we have, as you guys know, there's 2 ways to get started with W.T.A. There's the affiliate and there's an advocate this there, right? Of course, you can be a customer of ours only, but obviously, on the business side, affiliate and advocate, and that affiliate is $195 per year, and they are the individuals that's going to make commissions straight away for the sale, whether it be of the corporate benefits or whether it be of the estate planning software. They get no promotions. They're straight away in their commissions. That's what they're going to make there. They can, through their volume of performance, participate in 2 bonus pools. We have a bonus pool called the personal sales bonus pool. We're going to look at that. And we also have a game of clones bonus pool. We're going to talk about that as well. All right. That's the affiliate. Now, then there's the advocate. The advocate, guys, listen to me clearly. This is set up as an agency model. It's a building model. It's a dynamic that's set up like real estate, set up like insurance in that regards, where there's a direct commission and then there's a spread, a difference between that and your managers, where you can manage as well, so that you can have that in place. We're going to talk about that as we go through it. All right. And let's talk about that direct sale. And I'm going to hunker down on absolute numbers here for you as we go along, so you can be able to catch on. So let me start here at the top here. Estate planning CV. Every $19.95 that's sold, $1,300 goes into our comp plan. All right. $1,300 goes into the comp plan. Now, on our corporate benefit side, the way it works out here is that there's 25% that's going into, and that's overall on there. So that's going into the comp plan. The gross amount on that is a little bit different. So let me go into the weeds just for a moment on that. When you look at our presentation, and we're going through those numbers of $11.54 to $19.23. Does anyone remember seeing that on the grids? This there, yeah, this there. That's showing and dictating if the wellness plan and the supplemental plan dynamic that's on there per employee is just $100 a month. So I want you just to grab that for a second, because most of the illustrations are showing it being a lot more than that. So we are in a position where we're setting things in place to really be able to surprise some folks. I'm gonna leave that at there, let that bake for you for a second or a moment there, so you can be able to grab a hold of that. So because that is based on percentages, it's going to be hard to grasp because you don't have anything in the play there to be able to do the numbers on it. I don't want this talk to be like that we're talking about, like Disney bucks or something, or Monopoly dollars, so that we can talk about something that's absolute. I'm going to focus here now on the estate planning commission side. Does everybody agree with that? You understand what I'm saying on that side? Now that I kind of given you that piece that's there, wanted to make sure that you understood that. Okay, great. So with that being said, an affiliate is going to make $600 on the estate plan sale straight away. An advocate is going to start at the same exact place, $600, but they can be able to get promoted. Okay. And their promotion will allow them to make $650 at the senior advocate position. And if they get promoted to a district, it's $700, as you see on the screen, regional, $800, national advocate. Now they're able to make $900, and as a partner, $1,000. So $1,000 is the highest under the current compensation plan that we have here that you're going to be able to make on the sale that's going to be paid out to one individual. The highest amount is $1,000 that's going to be paid on the estate planning software. All right. Now, let's go into how promotions actually come about and work. Okay. And I'm just scrolling right over here to that. These are our promotional guidelines that we have here. Okay. And it's important to know that they're cumulative numbers. Okay. That means that they will always continue to grow. I'll give you an example of it. As we already said, there's no promotions here for affiliates. They stay at the same level. But a wealth advocate will start there and they can move up to a senior advocate one of two ways. Either they're going to produce 7 sales, or they will bring on, enroll other advocates on their team. And between those other advocates and themselves, there are 7 sales sold, which that particular advocate at least did 1. All right, so 7 on your own, or 7 as a team of which you did 1. Now, is that 7 in a day, hour, second, month, year? It's whenever. All right, it's whenever. Now, promotions are set into place and activated moving forward the same time period of pay. What do I mean by that? So commission is paid typically on what happens. Business that comes in on the 1st through the 15th of the month is paid on the last business day of that month. Any other business that comes in on the 16th through the end of the month is paid on the 15th or the next business day after of the next month. So let me use an example. We're in August. Right now, we're in the middle, of a proposed pay cycle because we're on the 8th of August. We're the 8th, right? Yes, the 8th. So whatever is sold and commissions and sales come in, revenue comes in. So I'm going to be clear on that because some people don't understand that. You may close a corporate benefits a client in the 1st through the 15th. You're not getting paid on that by the end of the month because it takes a while for that money to come in. So closed sales is when revenue comes in, to be very clear. All right, so that's when revenue comes in. Don't want anybody to close a corporate business. They signed the agreement on the 15th, and now it's the end of the month. I'm giving my money. The revenue didn't come in yet. So you got it. The revenue comes in on those sales after a pay cycle or 2 goes through. Then when that revenue comes in that time frame is when it's paid. So if a sale's made today, the individual is going to get paid on the last business day of this month. They make a sale tomorrow and the money's in. Let's use the estate business, the estate planning software. Let's use the estate planning software. Then that money is going to come in here, and then it's going to pay at the last business day of the month. Anything from the 16th of August to the last business day of August, which let's say the 31st, I'm not looking at the calendar at the moment, is going to be paid on September 15th or the next business day after the 15th. All right. Any questions about that time period of pay? Raise your hand, put it in the chat. I'll come back to it if it's there. All right. So that's the same point in time period in which promotions will take place as well. Promotions will happen along those same lines. So, and it's cumulative. It could be 7 sales in 7 years. I got 1 sale a year for 7 years straight, and you finally got promoted, right? That's just how it works. It's cumulative like that. So let's go on now that I set that basis in there. To be a senior, it is 20 sales on your own, or 20 sales of your team, of which you are responsible for 5. Now, an estate planning software customer is 1 sale. A corporate benefits client that has 1,000 employees in it is 1 sale. A corporate benefits that has 10 employees in it is 1 sale. All right, that's what defines a sale. So I'm gonna continue. District and above, I'm sorry, not district and above, because we just hit district. Regional and above requires agency building, requires a team, requires an effort more than your own, okay? Because as you can see, there's blacked out on the personal sales, and it's only there for 35 team, of which 5 were yours. All right. The district here was 20, of which 3 were yours. I mean, I misspoke earlier. It's 20, which is 3 are yours. All right. The regional is 35, of which 5 are yours. A national is 75 sales of team sales, of which you're responsible for 7. And a partner has 2 criteria here. A partner is 150 sales, of which you're responsible for 10 of them. However, you would have had to reach the achievement of having an agency prior to becoming a partner. That's a prerequisite. And an agency is a very simple qualification. All it means is you have 3 direct advocates. Be wealth advocates, senior advocates, district advocates, or whatever. They could be at the same level as you, or they could be a level beyond you. Okay, but you have 3 direct ones, and between you and them, there's a total of 15,000 of CV. All right, so what does that mean? 15,000 of CV. There's 1,300 of CV that's in place there for estate planning sale. Okay, there's 25 CV per employee on a corporate benefits. It's 2.5 CV for the corporate benefits on year 13 forward. All right. So within a month, though, 15,000 CV, however it's calculated. Let's just use estate planning here, software. So 10 times 1,300 is 13,000, right? So now you're 2,000 short. So just 2 more would get you over there. So that's 12. So that means between you and your 3, that in a month, you have at least 12 estate planning software subscriptions sold for 2 consecutive months. Now, that 15,000, you cannot count more than 50% of that from any one of those 3 frontline, right? That you have, those 3 direct advocates. So no more than 7,500. That's the criteria. 50% of that in any one of those months. Okay. Once that's established, you have an agency. The goal is structure-wise, you want to knock that out as early as possible because it's only a 2-month, it's 2 consecutive months qualifier. You don't necessarily have to hold it after that anymore. Now, we encourage you to be able to do so. Your bank account will be happy, but that's the criteria to be able to make and to achieve an agency. And once you achieve an agency at senior, you got that agency at senior, and then you may not get the partner for a few more months later. It's okay. You've achieved that, so now you can do it. But if you're at national and somehow you only have 2 direct advocates that's there and you guys are cranking it out, you best get another advocate real quick so you can be able to get that qualifier as an agency so that you can hit partner. All right, just a building secret. Are you guys getting the building blocks here? Understanding? Okay. All right, I think so. Silence is golden, no hands going up. Hello, wake up, boo. Make sure everybody's there. All right, there we go. All right, so that's the piece there. Once you're able to have that, then you have it. All right. All right. So of course, here corporate has the right to promote any advocate to any level. There is obviously the ability to do 50-50 splits that's there. We have all of that set up into our compensation plan. All right. Being able to do 50-50 splits. What does that mean? That means that if there are people that are not in the same group, not in the same line, and they're working together, I'm gonna just pick on someone. Let's just say that that Mr. Ron Bush happens to meet up with Mr. I'll do the Rons. Mr. Ron Cut. I messed up your last name, Ron. I'm sorry, but able to set up the two Rons are able to connect. And let's say they're going after some situation. They have a mega church, and they're doing a presentation there. And they decided, hey, anyone that comes here, we're just going to split these sales 50-50. They can be able to do that. All right, they'll be able to split all the sales that come out of it. Let's say Mr. Tim Harris here, Mr. Jimmy West decides that they're gonna go and do a big seminar somewhere, and they split the fee for a booth, and they decide they're going to split all the leads that's there. They're able to do that. They can split those sales 50-50. And when they split the sales 50-50, guess what else splits? The CV, the qualifier for promotions as well. All of that will go all the way down, and the overrides and everything was split all the way across there 50-50 there. All right, so Ron has a question. Did I unmute you?
Yeah,
Oh,
hey,
there you go.
Derek. So yeah, if I'm getting 50-50, that's a good deal. But here's the question though. Will that 50-50 be, are you able to insert that into a calculation in this formula? Or is that something we have to manually calculate? How does that 50-50 get inputted into the system?
Oh, yeah, every sale, when the sale is consummated, it will ask, are you splitting this is there a split agent or a split advocate? And that it will be done there, and it will be tracked all in your software.
Okay, so
you'll have a drop down arrow to be able to choose the person that you're splitting it with.
Cool. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that was your question, right?
Yep.
All right, great question.
All right, thanks.
All right, so we have that in place. So the largest that you're going to make on any given sale there, it's going to be $1,000 on the estate planning piece there. Okay, that you're going to have in you have a promotion. Sorry, sir. There you go.
Hey, I love that question that Ron asked about split sales. Hey,
Cut your member?
Yeah, Ron Kutchenberg. And hey, Derek, remember we were talking to our IT department about something unique. Derek and I, we're always looking at things that are very unique for you guys.
Great point.
We've been around for a while. We've been doing this type of businesses for years. And we were talking to our IT department. We said, listen, we've heard of split sales, and everybody heard of that. But what about split recruits? Can we do something like that? I mean, how many times have you went after someone and then someone said, oh, I already talked to him or her, or let's say you talked to that person first, and then that person ended up talking to someone else later and deciding to go with that someone else. And this person said, yeah, I talked to Ron Kutchenberg earlier about the business. I decided to sign up under Ron Bush instead because I think the B come before the C, you know, Bush come before Kutchenberg. So he decided to go that way. And so for some oddball reason, but he admit that he did talk to Ron Kutchenberg first. Well, we're going to try to figure out a way where we can do a split recruit where half that commission go to Ron Kutchenberg since he talked first, but the person decided to go with Ron Bush. So Ron Bush can get the recruit, but both of y'all can get paid. I've never heard anything like that in this industry. And we're trying to work something like that out. So I got my fingers crossed on it. It hadn't come into light yet, but it's just something that the IT department and I and Derek are toiling around. So hey, Derek, go ahead and take it away. It's not happening yet, but those are just some of the innovative techniques that we're trying to bring to the field so that everybody can be compensated fairly.
Yeah, and we can be able to preserve hierarchy integrity because there's so many situations that I know that I've experienced where You know, let's say if I met Cassandra, and Cassandra's coming into the business. Let me use someone else since I'm corporate. It may not sound right, but let's say Anitra met Cassandra. I don't know if they may didn't know each other. I can't even remember. However, but let's say Cassandra happens to be Cynthia's sister, and Cynthia just didn't talk to her sister yet. And Anitra is talking to her, and Anitra and Cassandra, man, they go way back too. They went to school together and all this other different stuff. And now she's like, man, I have blood is thicker than the mud with my sister, but this is my bestie, my good friend over here. And she did happen to bring the business to me. You know, I'm not sure what I was going to do. Crazy things happen, right? And what normally happens with creative things in the field, someone says, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, I'm gonna sign up my spouse over here, and I'm gonna go over here, and I'll do a little bit here and there and all that stuff. And it's divided, right? The attention's divided, or they'll choose one or the other, and it can, cause a little tension or whatever. So this idea would be that person would come in and everything that they do underneath them would be normal from them forward, but from them up, it's like a fork in the road. It's a split, 50-50, and that could be a choice. That's the whole idea behind it. So they can still just do one and be able to do that, and then both will benefit if it comes to that. But that would always be the choice of the individual in the field where they're going to go and how they're going to do that. So it was just an idea. And Brian, I'm glad you brought it up. I was rally there on it because it is very unique. So let me continue here so you could be able to go through here so that you can understand the spread dynamic here, not the split. We're talking about the spread. I know they both are SPs there. So we're talking about the spread, and the spread is the difference. And what I love about the difference is that can transcend levels. We're not talking about levels. We're talking about this is how insurance works, where you get the difference between contracts and things like that, that you're able to have there, and royalties and overrides and that type of stuff. And so what happens here is that if you're a senior advocate and you have a wealth advocate on your team or affiliate that makes a sale, they'll make the 600. You are at 650, you'll get paid the $50. Okay. If you're a district and you have wealth advocates or affiliates, they make the 600, you'll make the 100. But if you're a district and you have a senior and the senior makes the 650, you will make the 50 override. As a regional, you override wealth advocates and affiliates by 200. That's your spread. The seniors, you get a spread of 150 when you're regional, and you get $100 override or spread of $100 over the district there. When you're national, remember national, when you make the sale, you're making $900. Well, you get a $300 spread difference for the wealth advocate and affiliate, $250 on the senior advisor, and on the district, the senior advocate on the district advocate, 200, and you're able to get on the regional 100. Now, as a partner, ladies and gentlemen, that's the one that's making $1,000. That's the one that makes the most off of the direct sale. The goal is partner, right? The goal is partner, because once you get the partner, something else opens up, but that's the goal first, to be able to make it there. So as a partner, if you make the sale, you make 400, but if you have wealth advocates or affiliates that are direct to you, that you've introduced, you enrolled into our program, when they make a sale, you make 400. Seniors, 350. You get a spread over districts of 300, over the regionals, 200, and over the national advocates, the one that's making 900, get a spread of $100. Okay. Now that spread also transcends levels too, which you're going to see in an example that we're going to give you in just a moment. All right, but just hold that tight. So we know direct is 600, 650, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, right? That's how it's set up. And it's wealth advocate, senior advocate, district advocate, regional advocate, national advocate, partner. All right. And so the question can pop up. What if I bring on Claude and I'm a senior, and then Claude gets promoted and he's now a senior, right? And that's all that happened there. What if that occurred there and that happened there? Then what's going to happen now that he's a senior? There's no more spread, right? You do get the ability to have something else, which we're going to look at in a moment, but the spread is gone. It can return, which you'll see through promotion and all of that. That's there, but there's some other things that take place, which we're going to take a look at. That is the unilevel. So the unilevel has nothing to do with titles or promotions. It just happens to deal with the genealogical levels. You know, that means, you know, that if Elizabeth Johnson, no relation that I know of, maybe not, I don't know. But if Elizabeth Johnson happened to, I'm just looking at names here, was in a situation where she introduced Olinda, and then Olinda happened to introduce W.J., then W.J. happened to introduce Cynthia. So we got Elizabeth, Olivia, W.J., Cynthia. All right. Cynthia would happen to be on Elizabeth Johnson's third level, right? W.J. would happen to be on Elizabeth's second level, and Olinda would happen to be on her first level. So there is 1% that's paid out per level that's there. Well, 1% is $13 of 1,300, right? So in that instance earlier, when I was talking about Claude, he made the sale, and we're both senior advocates, I at least make $13 off of the sale, right? I have something that's there, because Claude can go past me and go off to the moon, you know, somewhere there. And still, every time he makes a sale, he personally, I'll add $13. Anyone he personally brought in, unlimited with, they make a sale, I make $13. Anyone they brought in, unlimited with, they make a sale, I make $13. So that's what happens on that side. That's our unilevel bonus that's there in place, where in the example I gave before, Olinda is direct to Elizabeth. Anytime Olinda makes a sale, Elizabeth's going to make $13 plus whatever spread or anything of that nature is there. So the unilevel always is never superseded by promotion, is never superseded by anything of that nature. It's always there. We don't have any breakaways, ripaways, 1-up, 2-ups, passaways, giveaways, or any of that other stuff. Your team is your team. That's there. You know, that's how it's set up and structured and meant to be. All right. So, and then there was this, what we call partner generations, because something else happens when people become partner. It's great to know that the promotion is cumulative. So as long as you just working at the speed that you're working, ultimately your numbers will hit the numbers to become partner. As long as you structure right to get that 2 consecutive months in there to get that agency established, and you're there. So what happens when I become partner and Claude becomes partner? I'm using Claude as an example here. And Claude becomes partner. He's on my front line. Well, I know I'm already going to make that $13. You just said that, Derek. I'm locked in on that. But now I have a frontline partner. I become a wealth partner, right? Notice these titles: wealth, senior, district, regional, national. Sounds just like the previous ones, right? When they were advocates. But now this is the same nomenclature on the front end here, but it's all partners. So partners have levels, advocates have levels of promotion. Okay. So now Claude is my front line, as I introduced him. I mean, in this example, and he's my front line that I have here. And so now I have a frontline partner or above. That means every time there's a sale that's made there by Claude and anyone in his group that is not yet a partner underneath him, $40 comes to me. Claude will make whatever his spread is, whatever his unit level is. I also make my unit level, whatever's happening there. Okay. That's going to happen all the way down in each individual business distribution channel that Claude has set up. Let's use an example that Claude had got really excited about this thing, and he introduced 10 people who became wealth advocates personally. That means each one of those 10, whenever a sale is made down in each one of those 10 to the next partner, $40 will come to me in that example. All right. May not be a partner for a few generations down, or it may be a partner close up. What happens then? We'll look at it in a moment. All right. It could happen, but it's only when it happens in that individual 10 legs that we just gave up, right? In whatever leg that is. So if he happened to bring in a partner on one leg, a guy who made it the partner in one leg, then I would make it whenever Claude makes a sale, but not when that partner, because I'm only a wealth partner. I only have one generation. But the other legs have no partners. Oh, I get that all the way down all the other legs. All right. So I become a senior when I bring on Tim, who makes it the wealth partner. Now I got Claude and Tim, they're wealth partners. I'm sorry, they're partners as well, partners or above. Now what happens? On those that I personally brought aboard who are partners, whenever they make a sale, I now make $45 per sale. No longer 40, got a raise. I'm making 45 down to the next generation of partners in any one of their distribution channels or legs that they've set up. When there's a partner underneath Tim or Claude, I no longer get 45. I am now getting $13 down to the next partner underneath them. There are no levels. It's just going to, that can go down 20 or 40 levels before another partner shows up, perhaps. Who knows? All right. And there's sales that are consummated. And let me just say something real quick. I'm sorry, man. I'm not very good at this, but man, Brian and I had a fantastic meeting, and we got something that's going to put, what they put in those cars to make it fast. That nitrogen, is it nitrogen? What is it? Is that what they put in there? It's some nitrogen, something, right?
They put some type of nitrogen in there,
Somebody know, what was it? Nitro what?
Yeah, some type of nitroglycerin, but just don't put them tablets and potions and pills I used to put in the engines years ago when I was in network marketing. But I was putting all kinds of stuff in my engine back in the day. My car values went down and not up. No, but I know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is we found some of that for this business, guys. You're going to be so excited about some of this stuff that we found, because we found a way to get you in front of people.
Nitrous oxide or something. I don't know. Yeah. But you said we found a way to do what?
We found a way to get them in front of people. Did we not today?
Oh man, come on. Yeah.
Don't let them tell you nothing else.
Don't let too many cats out the bag.
I'm sorry, man. I'm too excited.
Hard to herd cats. But
let me say it like a good friend of mine. I think he's online. We're gonna put some rockets on your tennis shoes. That's what's rockets about to happen.
Tennis shoes. Okay. I saw the little wheels they used to put on tennis shoes. You know, when my kids were little, they had the little skate wheels in the back of the tennis shoe. But rockets, I like that.
The Heelys, those are
Heelys. Yeah.
Well, you about to get some rockets on your tennis shoes, man. Put on your helmet and
I
buckle
bet you.
up.
I bet you some people on this call had them little wheels on their tennis shoe. They don't want to admit it. I never did it, but I bet you some of y'all was riding around with heels and wheels. But anyway, go ahead, Derek.
So when you get two frontline partners, you're now 45 and 13 through the next generation. Now, here's what's great about this. Those partners can also bypass you. In fact, you're like, man, you cheer them on, go. Why? If they bypass you, that means there's more sales going, right? And see, you got to understand the power of the business is to be at the level where there's higher volume. That is the whole idea of I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own, right? That's the whole idea. That's the leverage part right there. That's what you want to be able to get, even if they bypass you. All right. So now I have 4 frontline partners. I'm a district manager, right? Or above. Now I'm making 50 on those same people I used to make 40 on. I'm making $10 extra on their volume. So let's say they got a leg that's doing, I got 3 legs, or distribution channels there. There's doing 10 sales a month. I was making off those 3 legs doing 10 sales a month. I was making $1,200 a month off of that when I was here. Right?
Hey, Derek.
Yes, sir.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but we don't have a block on where people can't log off and log back on. We lost one of our VIPs. She says she can't get back in. I don't know if we have a waiting room or something. Just want to make sure we don't.
I don't think we do, but let me look.
Let's double check because she's been texting me back and forth. She's so determined to get back on. And I figured we could take a moment to see if we can help her make that happen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let me make sure it doesn't look like any, we don't have a waiting room up.
Okay.
I don't see nobody's pending.
Okay, all right.
And I'll just check the security real quick. No, the meeting's not locked and the waiting room's not enabled.
All right, no doubt. Okay, she just said she's logged out a few times trying to log back in. I'll go ahead and work with her, but I appreciate it.
All right. Yep, no problem. Very good. All right, so yeah, so you get a raise and you get that moving. Now I got some questions in the chat that I want to address here. Let me move that over here. Sorry guys, I'm trying to screen manage here. Oh, yeah. There we go. Move you here. Move you there. There we go. All right. So let's get that question up now. Glad you brought that up because you gave me a question here. I got to see. We already answered that. Derek, when an advocate purchases an estate planning package, is that a sale for the one that sponsored him? Yes, that is a sale for the one who sponsored him. So, for example, if Mr. Ron Bush brought me into the business and I purchased the estate planning, I'm purchasing it from Mr. Ron Bush, and that's one of Mr. Ron Bush's sales. Nitrous oxide. Thank you there. Somebody help me out with that.
That's what I thought. I said nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin is something we give in the hospital to people to lower their blood pressure. My fault. I'm a nurse. Don't put nitroglycerin in your gas tank. Go with the nitrous oxide. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, so
partners, got scientists on the call. Go ahead.
There you go. So partners make money from every partner connected to them, no matter how far they are in levels. All right, so that's a great question. So the answer to that is kind of yes and no. And so I'm skipping ahead to answer that question. You guys are seeing this at National Partner, right? So at National Partner, your frontline partners that you have there, there's so many different scenarios here, but you have 10 frontline partners, right? That you have personally. So you got $60 on a down to the next for that generation of partners, right? So it's only on the lines that you have partners that you're going to make this. On the ones where you don't have partners, then you're just going to make your regular spread, because partner generations come into effect on the legs where there are partners. Okay. And so it just needs to be frontline partners. It's going to be $60 all the way down each and every one of your legs until it finds the next partner. Oh, now it's only going to make $25 down that leg to the next partner. That could be at different levels per leg that's there. You know, some can go all the way down, you know, doesn't matter how far. All right, so then it hits the next partner, and it's going to be 15 down. That's the third generation. It's going to search down that leg and all the other legs and that's there. And then it gets to 1, and that's going to be another partner. And that's going to be 13 down to all the way down. It's going to find another partner, the 5th one, and you're going to make $7 down, all the way down to the next one. And when you get to that next one, wherever that next one where it may be at that point in time, you're outside of your 3 levels for the unilevel. You're outside of your generations, which has no levels. I mean, you could be down, you know, 1,000 levels at that point, if that's even possible on that side. On that particular leg, that's when when that would stop, wherever that may be. And that could be a long way down, you know, to have that. Or it could be, what if this person brought on a partner, and that the next person brought on a partner, then the next person brought on a partner, then the next person brought on a partner, then the next person brought on a partner, and they were all frontline partners. Well, in that leg, then you're going to have 5 levels of partners that you're going to have, that you're going to get overrides off of in that case. But in that case, that means there's a lot of production that's going on, and that's what you're going to have at that point. Is there. So in a real world situation, probably won't happen that exact, but that's how that will go. So that's why I said kind of yes and no on that question, which was, so partners make money from every partner connected to them, no matter how far they are in levels. It has nothing to do with levels. So I guess that part is yes. But if it's a matter of titles that they have in order, is what it is. So, but affiliates, the rest of the question, but affiliates only make money from 3 levels. The answer to that is no. Affiliates aren't able to recruit or build at all. Affiliates only make personal sales. They sell, they get paid. They don't have any team members, they don't recruit anything. They sell, they get paid. That's an affiliate. They just sell, they get paid. They can't recruit anyone or bring anyone aboard or anything of that nature. They're not able to build hierarchies. They are personal sellers, direct. And they get that and the personal sales bonus pool. Okay. Advocates. All right. So you meant advocates. Okay. So let me change that statement. But advocates only make money from 3 levels. No, advocates make money beyond 3 levels as well because of the spread. Now, if we go all the way back to the beginning, if I can move faster, there we go. This right here is all on spread. This could be many levels as well. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the levels. It's the titles that's there. So, and in this instance, this is at least 6 levels this here, but it could be a whole lot more than that this there. So it doesn't have to be, if you're a partner, yeah, you can do it through there, but it can be a whole lot more than that. I'm going to show an example that may help with that here right now. Let's see, right now. So let's look at this scenario first. And I think this will be very helpful. So let's say that this wealth advocate did obtain 1 subscription sale. Okay. He's a wealth advocate. that means the wealth advocate is going to make $600. The wealth advocate happened to be brought on by a senior advocate. This senior advocate right here introduced that wealth advocate. And the senior advocate is at $650. They have a spread of $50. So when they made that sale, the senior advocate makes $50. But the senior advocate also gets $13 because that's their first level. When he made 600 or she made 600, they make 600 here. 50 is made here by the senior advocate. And they get a unit level bonus of $13. The district advocate just happened to bring on this person who's a senior advocate, which is the one who brought on the wealth advocate who made the sale. All these commissions are coming out because of that one sale that was made by this wealth advocate. So they're in a position where they're going to make, if they made the sale, districts make 700. I'm sorry, yeah, they make 700. So they overrun it by 50 as well. So they get an override of 50 from that sale, plus it's their second level here from where the sale actually was made. So they're able to get the $13 unit level. So they made 63 total, just like the senior advocate. Now the regional advocate. Regional advocate is set up here to get $100 override from that sale. And they may not even know who this wealth advocate is. When they made that 600, the regional advocate made 100, plus that's their third level. They get the $13 unit level. So in this instance, the regional made $113 when that wealth advocate made that sale and got that commission in. The national advocate above them made $100. They didn't get the unit level because that's on their fourth level. Unit level is only 3 levels. The partner who brought on this national, who brought on this regional, who brought on this district, who brought on this senior, who brought on this wealth advocate who made the sale, makes $100 for the sale that was done here. This wealth partner is a wealth partner because he or she, they are a partner, but they have a frontline partner. Isn't that the criteria to be able to be a wealth partner? Yeah. So he's a wealth partner. So when that 600 sale was made down here, made $40. The senior partner has at least, you can look up here, it's right here, it's a cheat sheet, has at least how many? 2 frontline partners. This just happens to be one of the frontline partners that's a wealth partner. Well, when that sale was made there, they got a generation override of $13 from this sale. The district partner happens to have 4 frontline partners. This is just happened to be one of those lines that happen to have a sale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 levels down in this instance, and they made $13. They didn't know where it came from. They had no idea where that came from. It's like the popcorn money. It just kind of popped up there, right? What seed did it come from? I don't know. That's where it came, right? This regional partner happened to have 6 frontline partners, at least 6 frontline, probably has more than that, right? But 6 of them were partners, and just happens that during one of their lines, this wealth advocate down here made a sale, and they're getting the generational override of $13. And then this national partner, who happens, this is just one of his legs that's there, when that sale, they just made that $7. So you see how one sale can go through and make a whole bunch of people get rewarded and celebrated and be able to get some income there on that side. So hopefully you guys can see that, understand how that kind of flows through there and the understanding of that and how that works there. So this is a great example to see how the direct sales works, the overrides, the partner overrides, and the unit level bonus. Let me see if I'm missing any questions here. Okay, no questions. Good. Guess I'm doing a great job. All right, so here's the next one. Give you another example. Here's another little breakdown here. This wealth advocate makes a sale. Senior advocates above makes 50 and 13. District makes 50 and 13. Regional makes 113. This national makes 100. This partner makes 100. This guy is a district advocate. He didn't get paid at all. He gets to count those sales though towards promotion. That one sale, that's one sale. But because he has a frontline partner here, and the sale that happened was beyond his 3 levels, so he didn't get the $13 is right there because it didn't happen in this level, but you best believe there's going to be sales that's going to happen at that level. It just didn't happen with this particular one. Because remember, please guys, remember this senior advocate, he brought on, or she, this senior advocate brought on this wealth advocate, but that's just one line of distribution. He may have another one over here or another one over here. And he may have 4 or 5 of them frontline. This district right here has a senior, but he may have other ones that's there. You follow me? It branches out. Everybody just doesn't have one person. It's not just a straight line all the way through. Just like this district, he has the partner. He may have others, or he may not. He may have just thought he hit the mother load and was enjoying the ride as it was going along. That's there. They still remain on his team. He still gets credit for the sales that happens and that corresponds there. But in this instance, it's important to know that when that sale happened, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down, he is only in the position of district, which will only give him the opportunity to make direct sales, to make spread overrides, and to make unit levels when it happens within 3 levels. And this didn't happen in 3 levels. Now, this national advocate here is not yet a partner, because national is right before partner, right? And that sale happened all the way down there, and there's partners in there and things that happened, didn't have anything there, right? He didn't make anything. Now, but this wealth partner above him is a wealth partner. And so he's going to make sales down because he's a wealth partner. So that means he has some frontline partners, right? As a wealth partner, you got at least one, but it just didn't happen to be in this particular leg because this front line is a national. It is not a partner that's there. So you must have a partner in another leg in order to be a wealth partner because you got to have at least one. But because he has it in another leg, he's able to now get overrides on this one from the first partner down. So his partner right here is this guy is a partner. So he's now able to override that partner down to the next partner. Well, guess what? There is no other partner. So he gets the $40. This senior partner gets the second level. So he's not going to get the 40 because he gets it from that point down. So he's going to get the 13 because he's able to get it through 2 partners. 1, 2. That's the second generation. All right. Oh, I'm giving you different scenarios just so you can see the level or not and all that other stuff. So here's another difference payout on here. Here's a wealth advocate that's run by a district. He made a sale, made 600. They made 100. District advocate, regional advocate, national advocate, partner, all made 100. They made the 13 off of the unit levels that's there. Then you got a national partner right there, right? So he's able to get $60 on the sale that's happening for one generation of partners. It's only one partner there. That's to the one generation. So anything down there underneath this partner, any legs that he has, $60 will be made when the sale happens into the next partner. Just so happens that his upline is a national partner, so they're going to make 25. And that one is a national partner, so they're going to make 15. This one is a regional. So he gets the regional dynamic, he's going to get 13. And then that's a national, they're going to get 7. So all the payouts are going to come down, they're going to be able to get that all the way through. I can go at this last one, just give you different scenarios, all right? So you can see how it works, and I'm gonna hit the bonus pools, and we're gonna take some questions and close us out here. Another Wealth Advocate makes another subscription. By the way, you know, the Wealth Advocate is a workhorse in here, right? You got the Wealth Advocate making all the sales of this thing. Because obviously the other ones can do it too, but I just use it as an example to show the width and the length and the depth of the payouts there. So you got a Wealth Advocate who was brought on direct by a partner. Wealth Advocate makes 600, partner makes 400. It's in the partner's first level, so they get that $13. Happens to be a wealth partner over there. They're going to make their generations of 40. National is going to make generations of 25 and get their unit level of 13 on that to close that out. District makes 13, regional makes 13, national makes 7. So all that payout goes right through there. All right. That's just giving an example of the direct sales, the overrides or spreads, and the partner generations and the unit level. Just scenarios. There's a million and one other different scenarios that can go on. And that's why earlier we were saying we're looking at the back office, and we've seen they brought in all these different sales and all these different advocates, because they were working through different scenarios with, you know, working through 20 and 30,000 of those inputted. So to see how the system will actually work with it. All right. Now I'm bringing on the bonus pools. Okay. So that we can go through and talk about the bonus pools. First things first, the W.T.A. financed estate planning subscriptions. So those that are going through finance to purchase it, finance sales do not contribute to the bonus pool. Right? Everything else is fine. Oftentimes when you do certain businesses and sales or finance, you're paid differently. Let me rephrase that. You're paid less. In this instance, we made it the same, except for it just doesn't contribute to the bonus pools because there's a cost for the finance. That's the bottom line. All right. This there. So the game of clones pool, simply put, once there's accumulation of 100 customers sold in W.T.A., the game of clones pool will open. And this is being set up and put together by a software team that's working on a virtual office. They're setting up to gamify our business. So that means there's points of reference that carry points, and you'll be scored based upon you following the predictive analysis and the data that's there to lead you to success in the business. And you'll be given points, and the individuals top 5 each month, they have the top 5 score in a predictive analysis, will participate in this pool. So we just gamifying it, just putting it in there. So like, for example, let's say our lead program that we're working on that we'll have, and they may say, hey, you're getting leads. So therefore, if you work through your CRM, do these different things with the leads, the system's going to calculate certain points for you for doing business. You're going to get rewarded points. And then we'll have a running tally. You'll see who has the top points. So, you know, Ron Kutcherberg can say, hey, I'm going after Ron Bush. I see Ron Bush got more points than me, and I need to do a couple more things on this predictive analysis so I can get into this pool because I want to be in the top 5. You know, you can look at it like that and be able to see it that way. You know, we're gamifying it that way. And then you participate in the collection. Every estate plan that's sold throughout the company, $10 is contributed to the pool. It'll be split up amongst the individuals who qualify the 5. All right. And every, corporate benefit is going to contribute to the pool upfront and monthly as well. Now we have these personally service pools. That's your personal sales pool. That's open immediately. The minimum to qualify for this right here, qualify for this pool, is $6,500 in a month. So you get over $6,500 in sales in the calendar month that you've personally put in. Is there? You do the math on that, all right? That's at least 5 sales. You do 5 sales in a month, you can participate in this pool, of which $20 every sale company wide is going to be in there, and you'll be able to participate in this pool. Now you may say, well, Tim may say, well, I got 13,000. I did 10 this month, and Johnny only did 7. Shouldn't I get a larger share of the pool? No. But you're going to get a larger commission than he will, because you help more people. But on the pool side, it's equally distributed once you break through the benchmark of being able to do those sales. That's there. Now we have a team building pool, team builders pool. This is when you bring in someone new. All right. Let's say Claude brings me in. All right. And if my first 30 days, I'm able to make 3 sales, then Claude goes into the pool, because I was his personal recruit and he's being rewarded. Now, he may have not have had anything to do with those 3 sales, but he still get rewarded because he brought me in. All right. So he's going to get rewarded by being able to participate in that pool, because I was able to do that in my first 30 days. Now, hopefully he would encourage me more to make a couple more sales so I can get in this personally sponsored pool too, to be able to do that. But he gets rewarded for that in that instance. Okay. So we call that a team builders pool. You got your person off to a running, fast, geezing start there. All right. All right. So now we have our agency pool. What does it take to have an agency? Remember that? We talked about that earlier. So there's another benefit to having an agency, because you can participate in this agency pool at any level, as long as you hit that one-time qualifier of having 2 consecutive months of 15,000 of CV that's done between you and 3 personally sponsored. You have to have 3 personally sponsored advocates. You, my friend, have an agency. And if your agency did at least 30,000, no matter what level you are, but you get the mother load with bringing on a superstar into the bunch, and you get 2 more, and they way past you. Remember we were talking about people past you before? They way past you. You build up to get that agency status and then be able to participate in this pool. All right. Be able to do that. All right. The same qualifier falls everything agency. So for that 30,000, no more than 50% can come out of one given leg that's there. So if you get a runner who's out there that's doing it and building the business, and they got 40,000, you get to count 15 out of that. All you need is 15 from somewhere else to jump into the pool. I'm telling you that the water's going to be nice in those pools that you're going to have there. We open that when we have 250 sales. And then there's partner generation pools. We have 2 of them. Okay. We have our 1 through 3. Well, what is our 1 through 3? Let's just talk about that real quick. Right. We have our 1 through 3 pool. I went too far. 1 through 3 pool. Right. All right. And then, so our 1 through 3 pool is the district, the wealth in the district. All right. That's your 1 through 3. Wow. You got 3 generations, 1 through 3 generations. So we're going to count your volume through those 3 generations that you have for this particular pool. And in that volume, in the calendar month, you got 70,000 there of CV, then you, my friend, are in this pool. Okay, you're in that pool. Now, your 4 through 5 generations counts in here. You're able to have it. Now, I want you to understand and know that these are set up differently. These doesn't have anything to do with one given leg or any of that other stuff that's there. All right, these are set up different. Once we reach 500, that's open. Once we reach 1,000, that was open. And then those pools start to be, they're going to be filled up and we go. So once you have those in there, you're off and ready. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the money. Now, I went through it in detail. I kind of talked it through. We had some questions that we were able to go after and to answer, and no other ones came into play. But let me just tell you, it may sound a little bit technical, confusing here. Look, if you go help somebody get off of probate, which is our #1 aim for a trust that we provide and for the estate plan that we provide, which, by the way, that's what we do. We provide complete comprehensive estate plans. We're now out here trying to just get people on trust. There's a lot of different functionalities and dynamics of trust. The focus that we have is a complete comprehensive estate plan. That's how we reach our goal, our aim, our mission, our crusade to get people off of probate. All right. Don't change the nomenclature for where people were going after getting wills. And now that they got wills, they thought they were good and they realized they're not good. They're now saying, oh, I'm gonna get a trust so I can be good. And then they realize, oh, well, thought I was good because I had a trust. Don't forget, Michael Jackson had a trust. Not everything was in that trust. He didn't have a complete comprehensive estate plan because there was no pour over will to be able to get all the things back into it. And that's why there's trouble that's going on with his estate. And that's why we all know about it. And it's public because it wasn't complete. This is happening to the famous, the infamous, the rich, the poor, and everything in between that's there. We're making a change. Make that change, you'll get paid and you'll understand the compensation program like you've never understood it before. Getting a real check is going to help you on that side. I asked you to unmute here because you have a question. You should have got that cue. You should be able to unmute. Team Harris. There you go.
Hello.
Hi. You're unmuted. We can hear you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Coach Derek, this and Professor Brian, this is mind-blowing, phenomenal. I have never seen anything like this. I'm telling you, guys have put this thing together. Make me want to remember back in the day when they were doing the internet energy thing and they went and they got busloads of young adults and just dropped them off in the neighborhood and just say, hey, go at it. Of course, I wouldn't do that, but it makes you feel like doing something like this because this is just so powerful. We want everyone to know this and to be a part of this. But one question I had was in reference to the bonus pools. Are we able to, if we qualify for them, receive or participate in more than one pool per month? Like if we're qualified for the Game of Clones, then I qualify for the agency pool. And then that same month, I hired 2 or 3 new WAs, and we had, I think that's 3,900 CV in the first 30 days. We would be able to participate in all those pools in the same month?
Yes, you are. Now, let me also make sure that you know you only get in the pool once. So if you have 3 new WAs, wealth advocates that do it, you still just get in the pool one time.
What do you mean
But
one time that month?
One time that that particular month, right?
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. But yes, you can be in the Game of Clones, personally service and team builder pool and agency pool. You can be in all 6 pools in a month if
Thank
you
you.
want. Yeah. And every pool, each person can only be in one pool, only be in one pool at a time. That's there, right? Am I saying that right? Each advocate can only be in one pool. I'm sorry, can only participate in all the pools, but you can't be in the Game of Clones pool 3 times, or I got different distributions into the pool. It's only one distribution into the pool. Hopefully I said that right. You want to try it? Did I say that okay, Brian? Did I confuse that?
You might have threw some people off with that one.
I did a crossover.
Yeah, you
All
crossed
right.
them up on that one. That was Allen Iverson or Kyrie Irving. You know, you crossed them up. So and you broke some ankles. But I think they understand it better, Derek, when they dip in that pool. I was in a company, and so I know a lot of this seems technical, but it's not. Some of us on this call tonight have been in companies that had these types of pools. The concept has been proven. This is not gimmicky. It is a proof of concept that has been tested. And I'm gonna tell you, when you dip in these pools, you're gonna see some nice checks coming into your bank account. So make sure you're doing what you got to do to get yourselves in these pools. I tell you, your dedication is commendable to be here tonight for this length of time. I'm just honored and humbled by just your stick-to-itness. But any other questions about that? Good question, Lisa. And we appreciate your humbling words too. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. There's nothing else in the chat. No one has any other questions? All right.
And Derek, Coach, you did a great job on that. This was recorded, right?
It was recorded.
Oh my goodness. That means you guys can go back and watch it again and again to get real familiar with the depth and the breadth of this compensation plan. Let me tell you something. You know, again, I can't say it enough how much I appreciate you, Coach, for going through this in detail. It's a labor of love. We thank our heavens above for giving us the insight to be able to create such a plan. And we're going to keep tweaking it and making it better. We have lots of good things coming your way. We don't want to let the cat out the bag, like I said before. Next call, we'll give you a State of the Union update, the State of the Company update. We'll also try to see when we can get Sean back again as well. But let me just say this, there's a lot of great things coming. And thanks, Derek, for taking it out to share. I can see people a little bit better. Now I was looking at my little square there. I felt like I was on that show years ago called Hollywood Squares. Y'all know what I'm talking about in a little box. But anyway, we have a lot of good things coming. I was thinking today about Warren Buffett. I saw a video Warren Buffett put out there, and I'll never forget how he said he became a billionaire through buying Coca-Cola stocks. And I remember him saying how when he bought those stocks, the first year they only sold 25 bottles. And everybody said, man, you're nuts for buying that company stocks. He said, but around 2 and 3 years later, that company became a breakout company and it made him a billionaire. So his point was, when you find something good, you got to believe it in your heart and you got to stick with it and never give up. And that's what I see in each and every one of you tonight. Just the fact you're still here. We had a young lady, Natasha. And Natasha, I don't know if you're on or not, but she just joined today. And she just kept trying to she got kicked out of the call, kept trying to get back in, get back. I said, most people that gave up, but she got back in. And it just made me think about every one of you, how you're so determined to make it and how you will make it if you stick to it. So the best way to figure out how a compensation plan works is to just get going and make money with it. And I'm gonna tell you, as Derek was saying with that estate planning software, you know, that we're gonna change the market. We're gonna disrupt it. Derek and I have been meeting with countless people on high levels this week to help you build your business. We're talking everything from lead sources, marketing, system funnels, innovative products and services. And I'll give you all the juicy details on the next call. So I'm gonna do like, how many of you guys watch Netflix? You know how at the end of them, they always leave you hanging. And then you know,
cliffhanger.
And you're constantly binging. You're like, I know I need to go to bed, but I just want to watch the next episode. And so we're going to keep you guys coming back for the next episode. But trust me when I tell you this, some of the stuff Derek and I, we've been looking at this week, it just blows my mind. And it's like, yeah, this company is poised to do some great things. And all we got to do is keep our faith, keep working together, and keep marching forward in unison. And I promise you, our lives will never be the same again. It's going to happen for all of us, for those of us who stick to it. So now that's all I have, Derek. Let me see. One other note. Oh, Saturday. Remember, we have our opportunity call. We always want to promote the next event. So Saturday, we will have our opportunity call at Saturday at 10 a.m. So try to get your guests there. Get them on that call. We'll answer their questions. Last Saturday, people stayed a whole hour just asking questions. And listen, let's always follow up with the three-way calls to get those questions answered if you don't know the answer to those calls. I think that's all I have.
Yeah.
Great job, buddy.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the questions and the participation on there. We're going to get this right into for you guys to listen to it again.